very good evening to you. They've been racing here at Chester since 1540. It's taken a little while, but tonight the Winning Post finally comes live from Britain's most distinctive racecourse. It's a lovely evening. We have a big crowd and 3 live races for you. We're also off to Scotland, where after a close season in which holidaying jockeys just about had time to take a day trip to Brighton or Bangor, a national hunt season has restarted. We have 2 races coming up from there as well. Let's preview the whole programme now with Rupert Bell.
The crowds come flocking to Chester, the tightest turf track in the country. It takes a special horse to win around the sharp turns of the Rudai. Champion jockey Frankie Dettori warms up for Epsom. He bids for a 3rd straight Oaks success for the Godolphin team. And he partners Calabo. As an emphatic 2-year-old winner, will a winter in Dubai have brought him on?
Calabo has opened up a commanding advantage as they race down with a furlong and a half to go. It's Calabo extending the lead, 4 lengths in front of Sayer, nothing coming from up the pace. They're inside the final furlong, and it's Calabo clear by 3. Sayer staying on in second, Naked Welcome doing his best work at the finish, but Calabo's only having to be pushed out to score a comfortable success in the Silver Tankard Stakes. It's Calabo by 2 lengths to Sayer.
There's no peace for the jumpers, just a 5-day break. They've headed to the most northerly racecourse in Britain, Perth, for the resumption of the new season. Tony McCoy makes a swift and busy start in his bid to retain his championship with 5 rides. And Andy Thornton, who made it to 50 for the first time, can blast off his new campaign with a win on Rocket Run. There's nothing wrong with this one's engine.
They drive down towards the final fence now. It's still 57 channels. The white cap on the outside of Betty's Boy in yellow and brown. Further back behind them comes Rocket Run, who's moved through into 3rd place. Then East Houston tied back in 4th on the run in now. Betty's Boy has the lead from 57 channels, is getting tired, but here's Rocket Run throwing down a big challenge in the red colours the far side. Betty's Boy just up now from Rocket Run in 2nd place, but tight between the pair of them as they head up towards the line. Betty's Boy all out just under the stand side, holding on from Rocket Run, and Betty's Boy just winning from Rocket Run in 2nd place.
So at long last, summer is with us, and of course summer jumping is with us once again as well. They do have an excellent watering system up there at Perth, but the spring's been so damp that they haven't needed to use that at all for tonight's meeting. Let's set the scene there now with Gordon Brown.
Welcome to Perth on what is a glorious evening here at the most spectacular and most northerly as well of Britain's 59 racecourses.
5 races in all. We kick off here in just a couple of minutes' time at Chester with the Rabbit Catcher Handicap. It's over 1.25 miles. At Perth, the 7:30 is the Riverboat Casino Handicap over 3 miles. Tony McCoy linking up with John Joe O'Neill. Interesting partnership, that. The 7:45 at Chester, the Tarragon Maiden over 5 furlongs. 5 of them are trying to lose that tag. The 8 o'clock at Perth is the Bruce Wilson Sports and Leisure Handicap Hurdle over 2 miles, 4.5. Lynn Lathan trying to defy 12 stone and 7 pounds. And we round things off on this abbreviated version of the Winning Post with the 8:15 here at Chester, the Bird Lime Conditions over 1.5 miles.
Fast running, never stopping, supercharging, big hitting, ever willing, super kicking, big hugging, never punching, crowd pleasing, huge tackling, sweet smiling, breathtaking, never fearful, try making, ever charming, yard stealing, great faking, star shaking, summer action. Friday, Paris v Castleford. Saturday, Sheffield v St Helens, live on Sky Sports. Super fast, super tough, Super League.
Glorious sunlit evening at Perth this evening as well, I'm delighted to say. We'll be off there racing live in just a moment or two with our first from there. It's the 7:30. Before we do that, though, there's been one early race at Perth, the 7 o'clock, and one here at Chester as well, the 6:45. Let's take a look at what happened in those 2 races.
They're racing down towards the final 3. Tyler by only a nose now the inside. 2 in 2nd place, I'm Your Lady. Wild Ricer, Red Cap getting closer back in 3rd.
Hillwalk winning it then. John Parrott's had one winner already this evening. Let's just bring John back in for a moment again. John, just wondering, in terms of snooker, had a very successful season last season. World Championship was worth forgetting, I suppose, but is it getting more and more difficult year by year? Not for you personally, but in terms of the standard of the sport?
Oh, very much so. It's very, very competitive now. I mean, I've got to say, a few years ago when I started, you know, first couple of rounds used to be quite easy, and then it's just progressed and got harder and harder, and whoever you get in the first round draw now, you've got a match on your hands, and that's why you see a lot of the seeds going out to these tournaments, because the first rounds are dynamite. You know, if you don't do your stuff, you can be on your way home very early, and you know, it's a major disappointment, like Sheffield was for me, although Rod Law is a very capable player.
And what about Stephen Hendry? I mean, what can you say about the man?
I know, and I didn't think he played particularly well. You know, he can play a hell of a lot better than he did, but you know, he did enough. I think Peter would probably give him a better game if he hadn't been so tired. He had 3 hard games going up to that, but you know, Stephen, he just sort of done enough every time he needed to you know, the first round to get out of jail, he did it, and he basically just sort of paced himself, and without playing at his best, he still won. So, you know, every credit to him, really.
Okay, John, well, 1 winner so far this evening. Let's concentrate on our next live race here at the 7:45. It's the Tarragon Maiden Stakes over 5 furlongs, 5 of them trying to lose that maiden tag.
You're watching Sky Sports.
Who knows what mysteries wait in the darkness? Who knows what terrors prowl in the underworld? The Shadow knows. The British TV premiere of The Shadow, 10:30 Saturday on the Movie Channel.
The Shadow, just one of 55 film premieres on Sky's 3 great movie channels in June.
Call 0990 10 20 30 and we'll switch you on.
Now then, let's take a look at the betting for the 8 o'clock at Perth.
Well, and in this 8 o'clock at Perth, there is one significant non-runner. That is number 1, Lynn Lathan, who is perhaps likely to be the favourite for the race. So Lynn Lathan is a non-runner. That leaves a field of just 6. And the market is led by Level Edge at 6 to 4 from 5 to 4. Master of the House has gone out to 9 to 4 from 2 to 1. Candid Lad's been nibbled at 6 to 1 chance from 7s. Taboo Lady staying at 7s. Dallas Man, they don't like this one, is a 10 to 1 chance. And the outsider is Sylvan Celebration, and the price about this one 20 to 1. 6 run, that important non-runner, number 1, Lynn Lathan.
Australia, one of the foremost playing nations in world rugby, begin the test campaign with a clash against Wales. But the touring Welshmen aim for a win as they claw themselves back up the international ladder. Worldwide Rugby, Saturday morning at 10:55, live on Sky Sports.
Welcome back. We'll be having more live action from here at Chester in just a moment or two, but before that, let's clear up the SP of the 8 o'clock at Perth.
And the winner was Taboo Lady, and winning at a very nice price of 7 to 1. Trained in Ireland by Willie Rock, and of course the first winner of the season for last year's champion Tony McCoy. 7 to 1 the price. In second was Level Edge at 11 to 8 favourite, and the total returns win £5.70, places £2.30 and £1.60. Confirmed there was one non-runner, number 1 Lynn Lathan, and that left 6 runners. Well, the next live race for you, our last one, is from Chester. The runners are going down to the start for this 5-runner contest, and the market for it is led by the Godolphins Killarbo at 5 to 4. Drifting now out from even money to that 5 to 4 favourites price. Key to My Heart, who won at the York Dante meeting when defying, well, started at 25 to 1, back into 12 to 1 to win that day, a 5 to 2 chance. Joyous at 7s along with Suriname, and then the outside at 8 to 1, who was as short as 6 to 1, is Rainbow Top. That's the prices then for the 8.15.
With John Parrott having to settle for a runner-up there. He has had a winner, though, this evening. Only 5 opportunities. It was more a case of a sort of 9-frame match, really, tonight, wasn't it, John? No chance to get going, really.
Just the best of 3, I think. It's a very, very enjoyable race, and fantastic just to come here and see the spectacle in itself. It's just wonderful to be able to come here and see the race, and that was a great race. For 5 runners, that was a fantastic little event.
I know that you're obviously a great lover of racing, but of course the bread and butter is nevertheless snooker. When are you back in action in competition there?
Well, we have a couple of months off, and then it'll be down to practice, and I'm off, I believe I'm off to India for the first one, and then on to Thailand, and start the season off, and back to Scotland, back to Thailand, and you know, one of these days we'll get someone, I think, who's a travel agent, and we'll organise it so we play all our events while we're away. But we keep going there and then coming back and going backwards again. But it'll be quite hectic the start of the season.
Hard life, because you're a dad already with Josh, and another one on the way.
Yes, my stud fees are going up all the time. Can't get an exhibition view, my stud fees are going up. Yeah, it's great. My wife Karen, thankfully, is over the worst of the sickness. She was pretty bad with it, and the little fella's, he's keen on the idea of having a little brother or sister now, so we've worked around him. So I'm looking forward to it. November the 5th, fireworks night is supposed to come.
Let's just look ahead to the events of the next couple of days, John, shall we? The Derby, first of all. I know you're a keen student of form. What have you worked out in terms of the Derby?
Well, it is probably the most wide-open derby that I can remember. I have a sneaking suspicion for even top myself. You know, it's rather, you hear people saying, you know, that sometimes a little unfairly, I think, you know, well, can Mark Tompkins win a derby? Mark Tompkins can train very, very top-class horses. You know, Bob's Return winning the Ledger and everything. I think that is guaranteed to stay. I mean, I think his performance in the Guineas was fabulous. And he could be one of the horses that turn around. I mean, if he goes and wins 2 or 3 lengths, you could say that you weren't surprised about it, because, you know, he is on pedigree going to stay every yard of that trip. There's most of the horses in the race have never been there, and they don't know. I mean, even Top himself, but you just know that he's going to stay, I think. Gloria Dancer obviously put up a good performance, but I think Mr. Cecil's horse, Dushianta, might turn him over on the day. I think that is a certainty to be in the box.
But even top for you, then?
I would definitely back that. It was 7-1 in a week, which I've taken, and, you know, I think 7-1 was reasonable enough.
Well, what about a classic double for the Tompkins? Could you see Honest Guest doing the same thing in the Oaks?
I think the Oaks is home and hosed. I think the Godolphin team, who we just seen win the last race there, I think Prickett will win definitely. Very, very impressed with it, and she looks, you know, she looks the part. I think if something comes out of the pack to beat her, they'll have to be very, very good.
I mean, obviously, there's been a lot of talk about Lady Carla working at home. Is that the one who you think might come out of the pack?
Well, it's trained by the man himself, Mr. Cecil, who we know is you know, an absolute master at training horses, not just for every day of the week, but for the big events. I think he'll, you know, both his horses there in the Guineas and in the Oaks, and the Derby will run very, very well.
Well, of course, not just a racing, a snooker fan, but you're a big football man as well, and the European Championships start this weekend. Much talk about England, not much of it to do with football over the last week or so. What do you realistically think their chances are during the Europeans?
I can't see us winning it, to be perfectly honest with you. I think the home advantage is a big advantage. I think the crowds can get behind them if they do the stuff, but there's a heck of a lot of pressure comes with that as well. And I don't know, I think we can get to, you know, semi-finals or something. We've been done pretty good, but I would think that possibly, you know, the Italians and the Germans and the Dutch might be a little bit too good for us.
No Evertonians in the side, of course, and Duncan Ferguson missing from the Scottish squad, and that's a really big blow for Scotland, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I haven't met anybody yet. I've spoken to quite a few centre-halves and people like that at the games who enjoy marking Duncan. I can assure you they come home black and blue, but it's just a very big blow for them. I think he would have been a great target man for them in that event, but you know, the Scotland-England game is fantastic. I can't wait to see that myself. I think that'll be an absolute classic.
Do you think Scotland might surprise 1 or 2 people?
Well, on paper, you put the players down, they've got quite a good team, but they never quite seem to produce what you think they might do. But this could be the arena for them to do that.
OK, so if not England or Scotland, then who would your money be on as the European champions?
I think Italy.
Italy for you?
Yeah, I think I'll go for Italy.
OK, John, thanks very much indeed for that tip. 11,000 people here this evening at Chester. They've enjoyed a lovely evening. They've also enjoyed a 4-timer from Frankie Dettori. That's the story of the evening this evening. And plenty of the crowd that you see now will have been on those 4 Frankie Dettori horses as well. Been a wonderful, warm, pleasant evening. And Chester really is one of the cathedrals of British racing. Hope you've enjoyed our racing at Chester and Perth. We have another winning post coming up on Saturday. Big day of classics, of course, Friday and Saturday. And the winning post will be back on Saturday evening. So once you've watched the Derby, once you've picked up your winnings, you can come and watch the winning post as well. 7 o'clock, we're over at HQ, Newmarket. We have 4 races from there, 4 races from Southwell as well, 8 races in all. And our guest tipster will be Michael Bell. Just time for me to say my thanks to John Parrott this evening for joining us on the winning post. Hope you managed to back 1 or 2 of Frankie's. From all of us here, join us again on Saturday evening. Bye-bye for now.
It's cricket next here on Sky Sports. The venue Edgbaston. The weather perfect. And India are first to bat in highlights of day one of the first test against England. While in an evening of golf on Sky Sports 2, at the moment it's coverage of the US Seniors Memorial Classic from Birmingham, Alabama.